morning and welcome to the fourth hour. It's always so great to have you along. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time that I spend with you, whether it's on the air on Kello, whether it's here on Facebook, YouTube. Just really, really appreciate being able to touch base with you, and especially the fourth hour, which is a little bit more relaxed. I found myself kind of rushing through a lot of this stuff, and I just gotta slow down, take a breath. I'm not fighting the clock like I am when I'm on the air. Yes, Steve, you're absolutely right. The reporter that I was talking about on the air this morning, yes, absolutely right. Which, because we were talking about some of these independent journalists and the work that they have done. And his has just been absolutely incredible in the midst of a number of things. And so I found that pretty incredible. The reaction from not surprising at all, that you get this very angry reaction from the CEO of Axios that anybody is, you know, um, that you've got those who are on X pushing independent journalism versus corporate journalism. You see what a mess corporate journalism is. We talk about it all the time. So, yeah, thanks for that, Steve. I appreciate it. I don't think you'll be very surprised to learn as I'm poking through things this morning. I wanted to share actual audio from Tom Holman, and he's responding to he was on Sean Hannity last night. Both Holman and Texas Governor Greg Abbott were on Hannity last night. And hold on, I'm gonna stop this for a moment. I want to make sure I have that. There we go. They were on Hannity last night and talking about today. Holman is down in Texas, and they are meeting. In fact, today. So Tom Holman, responding to the mayor of Denver, Sean Hannity, asked Holman about this, and this is Holman's response.
Yeah, absolutely breaking law. All you have to do look at Arizona versus U.S. You'll see these breaking law. But look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail because there's a statute. It's Title 8 United States Code 1324 III. And what it says is it's a felony if you knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. It's also a felony to impede a federal law enforcement officer. So if we don't want to help, that's fine. He can get the hell out of the way. But we're going to go do the job. President Trump has a mandate for American people. We got to secure this country. We got to save American lives. And I find it shocking that any mayor of a city would say, President Trump's been clear, we want to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. I find it hard to believe that any mayor or governor would say they don't want public safety threats removed from their neighborhoods. I mean,
and I'm going to leave it there. He's absolutely right about that. It's just, it is a little bit hard to believe, when you listen to these guys, because there's more of it. There was another story and I just ran across this one this morning. More of the same, this kind coming from Washington State. You have got Washington's Democratic governor-elect, Bob Ferguson. He's creating a subcommittee in his transition team to combat Project 2025. Man, the left has spent all of this time. They're worried about Project 2025 and Donald Trump, who said, I know nothing about Project 2025. It's a legitimate project. Was it the Heritage Foundation, I think? Heritage Foundation that did Project 2025. And they were and Donald Trump said, I know nothing about it. And the left has just been going on about it. And now, so we've got Washington's new Democrat mayor bringing in a Planned Parenthood Alliance advocate, Jennifer Allen, along with a King County commissioner to co-chair the subcommittee. And this just gets more and more crazy. As an immigrant and as a proud parent of a trans daughter, I'm particularly grateful that the governor-elect is committed to protecting all Washington state residents and especially those. Oh, my. man, these people are just wigging out. You just see person after person, they are just losing their collective minds. I was talking about the Denver mayor during the last hour of the program this morning, and I get a little bit, admittedly, I mean, I get a little bit agitated, as I'm talking about the reaction of these people, saying they're willing to go to jail and no, and it's just, man, there is just there's no common sense among these folks at all. And what causes that? I have no idea. I mean, what causes this kind of, they are so bought in politically and is it just, you know, they are just fixated on Donald Trump or is it more than that? I've got to believe it's more than that. It's not just Donald Trump. This is beyond the Trump derangement syndrome. I think this is greater than that we are seeing happening now. Where does that stuff come from? It's just absolutely incredible as you watch these folks, and they seem to be doubling down on this. The election is over. Relax. In this case, in Washington, you've got a new, governor-elect who's a Democrat coming in. Okay, relax. And it's just fear mongering I've never seen in my life. And you would think, okay, we're beyond that. Will we ever be beyond it? What do you think? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Based on what I see, it's just absolutely incredible watching all of this stuff unfold. And so now they're, immediately coming into office, you have been elected then by the people of Washington, and coming in, you've got to have a committee on this project 2025. What in the fresh hell are these people doing? I mean, wow, this is just absolutely crazy. Sean, I think you're right. Radical left cannot handle even the idea of conservative principles being put into practice. I think so. Kathy is excited to see Tom Homan in action. I am too. And I sound a little bit like a fanboy. And I'm trying to avoid that. Seriously, because it you know what it is? It's my love of this country. That's what it is. That's what Tom Homan displays it. And seriously, for those of us who love the United States and want to see laws enforced and want to be able to welcome people to come into the country and follow the law and become a citizen, by the book, all of those things, Tom Homan is just so refreshing. I think especially, part of it is the last 4 years of Joe Biden and the absolute just chaos of this administration. We've never seen anything like it. And again, I'm at a loss because I can't explain. How is it that people support this? Because this is wrong. All of these things wrong on so many levels, I think, for many of us. And it's just absolutely crazy. So Sean was also saying, hearing Holman is such an encouraging thing. So refreshing to hear him speaking truth compared to the current administration. Yeah, and the media who just keeps up. That's why I appreciated the comment from Donald Trump. If you're not on Truth Social, I created a Truth Social account. And this is a while ago. I created a Truth Social account. I don't post on Truth Social, but I have an account specifically so I can watch Donald Trump. I want to hear what he's saying, and I want to hear it without the filter of the media. And because you go to his Truth Social account, I go in there this morning, there are like 4 different posts on a variety of different things over the course of the last few days. And you can go to True Social and I can hear his point of view and what his thoughts without the filter of the media. And this is one of the things that we were talking about in the last hour this morning about, Axios being all upset with you know, these so-called, the independent, truly independent journalists. And we started out talking about here at the top of the fourth hour this morning. Andy Noah would be a great example of those. Andy Noah has done some incredible work, as well as a number of others. But these independent journalists and Axios taking great exception to this, that it just makes me laugh. First of all, that's my initial reaction, but it just shows how absolutely lost these people are. They are lost in the woods, and there is no way out. It is just absolutely incredible. John, you're being incredibly kind here. I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Yeah, and all of you here. I appreciate those of you who are making additional time out of your day to, be a part of the fourth hour. Man, I really appreciate it. And this is why, and I had just a very brief conversation with our sales manager here. We want to plan something. My 20th year on the morning show is coming up in May this year. And so we want to plan something. And I'm thinking I would like to do something on a Saturday. I would, on a Saturday morning, a get together. If we could, do a breakfast kind of thing, I think would be great fun to be able to meet all of you on a Saturday morning. Well, we're going to be talking about that. We're waiting for Thanksgiving because he says, "Do you want to meet today, or you want to wait until after Thanksgiving?" I'm like, "Let's wait. Let's wait until afterward." But I just think that would be so much fun to be able to see what we can come up with. So we will be working on that, I promise, as we head into the new year. But getting back to John's comment, with Trump's victory, we will all have so much to be thankful for. Yeah, I kind of feel that way already, that there is so much for us to be thankful for in regard to this. Absolutely crazy. So it's, oh, thanks, Kathy. She said, would love to help you celebrate 20 years. And it's all because of you. And I mean that very seriously. It's, if you didn't listen, if you weren't a part of what we're doing, it's the relationship that you and I'm very cognizant of that every morning when I go on the air. I mean, I'm looking for things that are going to interest you, and I'm looking for things, first of all, the big, I want to be able to touch on the big stories so what's going on in the world. But beyond that, I want to touch on, I love the interaction with you. I love your thoughts, because so many times I get a call from somebody and they bring up a point of view, or a point that I hadn't considered, I hadn't thought of, hadn't looked at it in that way. So the relationship that we have is, believe me, I appreciate it very, very much, because it's very meaningful to me. And as I've said more than once, that's why I get out of bed at 3:00 in the morning, weekday mornings, 3 a.m. Actually, 2:45 is when my first alarm goes off. Second alarm goes off at 2:55, and that's when I roll out of bed. So about 3 a.m. every morning. And it's, and I do it because I love the show and I love the interaction with you. And it's one of the reasons why I enjoy doing this so much. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. A lot of you are wishing me a happy Thanksgiving, which I also appreciate. And I want to wish the same thing to you. And I'll remind you then again, no Greg Belfrage show Thursday or Friday of this week. Those are my company gives me both days off. So my thanks to them, to Midwest Communications. So I'll be off Thursday and Friday, but back on Monday. So, and then we'll be bearing down, and then I'll be with you actually through Christmas. And generally, I take time off over the Christmas holiday because it's a meaningful time of year to me. Especially, I've gotten a lot more. I'm having a lot more conversations with God since I had my stroke. The because man, here's the end of your life. It's right in front of your face. And then it's like, okay, now you've got more life. And I've talked about this on the air. It has changed me. I don't want to say in a profound way, but it's like, why am I still here? I've talked about this. There's got to be some reason. Why is it that I'm still here? What is it that, I have yet to do? Um, So that's very much on my mind. So Christmas time is a time that I really enjoy taking off. And I found it difficult, oftentimes I get a little bit riled up as I'm talking about some things on the air, and that's not a time of year that I want to be riled up. It's Christmas and it's time of celebration. And, I think for many of us, Thanksgiving very much, I think is the, along the same lines, that, we look forward to getting together with our family and um, just enjoying our our friends and our family. So I hope you really have a terrific Thanksgiving. All right, I want to get back to what we were talking about a little bit ago. I know I kind of meander all over the place here, so appreciate your patience. As we're talking about Tom Holman, this is a piece from the Center Square. You can see the centersquare.com. And New York Post had a story that I was using on the air this morning. This is the actual story from the Center Square. As they talked to Tom Holman, and he said, talking about illegals being in the country, and he said, if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And he encouraged then all foreign nationals in the country illegally to go home. He said, if you're in the country illegally and you got an order for removal, or even if you don't have one, if you're in the country, leave on your own. Because when you leave on your own, there's no penalties. But if we actually have to deport you with a formal order for deportation, there's a 20-year ban. That means you can't get a visa. You can't get a tourist visa. If you have a U.S. citizen child that lives here, he can't petition for you. So it's better to leave on your own rather than getting a formal order of removal. This is such a great point that Tom Holman is making, that do not wait. Leave on your own. There are no penalties. Just leave on your own. Go back. But if we have to deport you, that's going to mean problems. There are consequences. And this is, this is really one of the big things, I think, is, the fact that there are consequences. If you take certain actions, they're illegal. There are consequences. Under the left, there are never any consequences, unless, of course, you're a Republican. Then they're cooking up all kinds of crap that they want to charge you with, which we saw going on against Donald Trump. Cooking up all kinds of stuff, trying to put you in jail. Meanwhile, letting people out of jail who are in jail for a reason. This is just the most upside down world. I never imagined that we would see just so many people kind of out of their minds and it being driven by politics. It's just absolutely crazy stuff. Hey, Jay, I appreciate that, Jay. I didn't mean to be morose either here, my friends. But Jay saying, you still have work to do, Greg. Get to it. That's why I'm here, my friend. And I want to thank you for also being here. There was another story from the New York Post this morning. Ryan Routh raging about the two-party system, name dropping Thomas Crooks. Now, remember, Ryan Routh is the guy who was hiding in the bushes and was planned to take a shot at Donald Trump, wanted to assassinate Trump on the golf course. Remember that guy? And then he mentions Thomas Crooks. This is the man who successfully hit Donald Trump in the ear. So let's take a look at his jailhouse letter. It's a 4-page letter. He refers to himself as the alleged Trump shooter, railing against the U.S. two-party system. Yeah, this man is crazy. Seriously, he's deranged. He links himself to Thomas Crooks at one point. So he has pled not guilty, described both himself and Thomas Crooks as being ready to die for freedom and democracy. So it's a letter that was actually written before the election. And he said that if Trump were to win the election, the country must remove the power of our military by the president and place it with Congress before January. This guy is just absolutely nuts. We must limit all presidential power before Trump seizes our country. I mean, this is Trump derangement syndrome at another level that it's, I am blown away by this. Seriously. I mean, I knew that there were some people that, okay, but this level of derangement, it's just, why is that, do you think? Is it the media that's feeding this? I mean, I don't know where this comes from. Where is it that, is encouraging more and more of these, it's just, and then to sit out at a golf course hiding in a bush and with a rifle. I mean, don't you stop and ask yourself, what am I doing? I mean, that question would cross my mind. These people are just so absolutely committed that they are, the thought doesn't even enter their mind. And I'm just blown away by that. I just can't imagine living that kind of life. First of all, you got to believe there's a complete absence of God in the lives of these people. And this is what I find so just crazy, really. For these people on the left who are always preaching their morality on everybody else. But it doesn't, the immorality of their own actions doesn't even seem to enter their thought process. And that is just so amazing to me, the immorality of what they're doing. They're so focused on your morality and your immorality, what they, perceive as immorality, that their own never even enters their mind. And see, whereas I'm the reverse of that. I mean, it's my immorality I'm concerned about. Rather than, I'm not saying I'm not concerned about anybody else. And so, but it's my own immorality that I'm concerned about. What do I do to try to change that? What do I do to try to become a better person? I want to be a better person today than I was yesterday. How do I accomplish that? How can I reach out and help other people, especially with Thanksgiving now, nearly upon us, Christmas just around the corner? That's where my mind is at. It's not on myself. Not what can I do for myself? What can I buy for myself this Christmas? No. What can I do for the people that I love? What can I do for my children? What can I do for others in my community who I'll never meet and don't know, but I want to make sure that folks at Christmas can have food on the table at Christmas time. How do I do that? And I take steps then to try to make that happen. This is why I love Feeding South Dakota. I've talked about them on the air before. That's what they do. So I share my gifts with Feeding South Dakota. Those kinds of things. Looking outward. What things can I do to benefit the community? What we see is all of these leftists, and they have this in common. They are looking inward, absolutely inward, looking at themselves, and it's just absolutely, and that's why you see this kind of absolutely crazy, kind of nonsensical, actions that they take to harm Donald Trump. We've never seen anything like this. It is just absolutely unbelievable. So I want to wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving. And I'll remind you that there will be no Greg Belfrage show Thursday or Friday of this week, but then I'll be back on Monday. So we will be, Kello will be set up with automation during my absence. So Bill Zortman and I will both be gone over the Thanksgiving holiday, and we'll both return on Monday. So I'll leave it. I think I'll leave it there for today. I'll ask you to please hit the like button as I always do. If you would, very much appreciated. A few of you do, and I appreciate it very, very much. So we'll do it again tomorrow, and I hope you'll be here. But again, I may do something over the Thanksgiving holiday. I may do something. I'm set up at home, so I can do maybe something at home over Thanksgiving. I'm thinking about that. Well, we'll see how things go. It'll be a different kind of Thanksgiving for me this year than what I've normally done with family. So I want to wish you a really happy holiday, and thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it, my friends. Hope to see you again tomorrow as we wrap up before Thanksgiving. So long until tomorrow.